technology je opravdu důležité a nedaří se úplně správně. Takže jsme se rozhodli, že tahle ta prezentace poběží tak, že pan kolega bude hovořit, vždycky udělá pauzu po tom snímku a my vám pustíme ten simultánní překlad z reproduktoru, protože tam to jde, ale abyste se připojili přes svoje sluchátka, tak to bohužel nejde. A protože někteří z vás ten překlad chcete, tak my jsme to udělali tímhletím způsobem. Já si nyní dovolím teda představit pana kolegu, and I will do that in English now, and I'm really happy that I can introduce you my colleague, my friend, Dr. Branko Anđić. Branko works at Johannes Kepler University in Linz, Austria, where he's head of the department now, and he's focused on using modern technologies in biology, science, STEM education. He's focused on 3D printing, and he's focused on using AI in education. So I'm really happy that we have you here, and I'm looking forward to hear your presentation. Please, Branko, floor is yours.
Dobry den. I'm really sorry that I cannot say any. Actually, I can say bivo, and that's all what I can say in Czech in this very moment. I'm sorry for this technical issue, but Professor Bilek told me when you have such a huge idea as I'm presenting today, it cannot go so easily through the internet. I'm joking. So I'm now. Yes, I will now stop to wait for translator, and if I'm super fast, then the lady who is translating it, please notify me, then I can be slower and cut it in slower parts. Okay, then I will try to speak slower and cutting the words and separating them for each other to be more understandable. At the beginning, I would like, please work. Actually, in the conference program, it is indicated I'm coming from University of Vienna. I didn't lie at that time. I was part and affiliated with University of Vienna when I actually got invited for this conference, but in the meantime, I got invitation from University Johannes Kepler in Linz, which is really close to Češka Budějovice. They are organizing a new department about higher education, which will be supported with artificial intelligence, and they invited me to help them to organize and establish this department. Department started on the 1st of August when I quitted in Vienna, and I moved in Linz, and there I'm working with several professors to develop this new department. Today I would like to share with you my idea about using artificial intelligence with pre-service biology teachers. However, due to the lack of biology teachers in Austria, most of them are at the same time pre-service and dis-service teacher. That means that when they are reaching the 3rd year of education, university education, they are starting with part-time teaching, but they are still university students. And they still didn't finish their faculties. I split this presentation in several parts. First, I'm defining what artificial intelligence means for me in this case and in this presentation. Then I'm talking about divisions of artificial intelligence in several groups. I'm making an overview of how it could be used in general education. Then I'm sharing our experience and our knowledge which we learn in this research. There is thousands of definition of artificial intelligence, and it's always subject specific. So if you ask someone who is developer, he will tell you the one definition of artificial intelligence. If you ask persons from education, that will be another one. People who are examining or researching computers and human interaction, that will be the third. However, European Commission and UNESCO are proposing this definition. The capabilities of machine to execute tasks that are including characteristics of human intelligence could be named as artificial intelligence. That means that they are using reasoning, they are learning from experience, understanding natural languages, recognizing the patterns, making the decision, and providing feedback. Still, there is no artificial intelligence tools who can fulfill all these requirements. Some of them fulfill only one, some of them three, but not all of them. And at the basis of what artificial intelligence tools, softwares, and machines can do, they are split in several groups, actually the three groups. First, and the simplest one, is artificial narrow intelligence, known also as shallow or low artificial intelligence. And the characteristic of this artificial intelligence is that they are specifically designed to execute one or several tasks, but they cannot develop further to execute or with success to realize several tasks. One example is Alexa. Most often those tools are communicating with user through one channels. That means they can they communicate with users, or we can use with them like to write the task or communicate in oral form, but rarely in both of them. And also characteristic of this narrow artificial intelligence is if I like music in background. The characteristic is if they are communicating with users through two or more channels, those channels are never making connections. So if you are communicating with Alexa in oral form, then you are switching to write the letter to Alexa, the device never connects those two things. It's for them, for device, totally separated things. Another higher level of artificial intelligence is artificial general intelligence. And what is characteristic of this intelligence is they communicate with users through the several channels. So for example, one good example of artificial general intelligence is ChatGPT-4. So we can communicate with ChatGPT by writing tasks, talking with devices, pictures, video, materials, numbers. It's several channels. And not that we only can communicate through the several channels, through several domains, but he learns from that. So if we first talk with him with the devices in oral form, then write the letter, he can connect both of those informations and execute the tasks. Artificial superintelligence is still one hypothetical type of artificial intelligence. This type of intelligence not only can communicate through all the channels, but also can ask herself or itself the questions, posing the scientific problems, executing research, and deliver the results. It doesn't exist yet. At least it's not publicly available that exists, but that's something which, in which direction is artificial intelligence goes, and that's the goal of all those devices to reach this level. There is several groups of researchers. One group of researchers says or thinks that this level of intelligence will never be achieved. Such level of artificial intelligence will never be available to humans. However, some of them are hypothesizing that this is going to happen in next 5 years. Another group, or actually another criteria in which we can classify artificial intelligence tools is as criteria of their functionalities. And the first and the most simple is reactive machines. This is really simple type of artificial intelligence, and they learn only what we give them as data. And out of those data, they remember nothing. Thus, online chess playing is type of artificial intelligence. That means they are trained to play the chess, but they are not remember anything. Like those moves which they are making in chess playing table are only what they are training at the basis of data. Another artificial intelligence in background is using Netflix, YouTube, social platforms. So they are learning about you. Probably you so if you are watching some videos on YouTube, the next recommendation will be connected with that one. That is actually this limited memory artificial intelligence in background who are collecting the data about you, and they are recommending at the basis of that what they are learning about you, they are recommending further content. Theory of mind is still under development. The constructs, it's not still achieved, but this type of artificial intelligence can not only learn from data that we are providing them, but it also can scan our face and use it as data to interact with us. One really, it's still under development, is pain checker. They are training the tools with face of persons, and then it can detect our blood level and our sugar level without contact, physical contact with users. The tool scanning the face of person, and at the basis of how high or eye circles are, it can say very precisely how high our blood pressure are and how what is the level of our sugar. It's still under development, and it can process the data really in really high level, and it learns everything about us. Another tool, it's self-aware, or actually group of the tools are self-aware AI, and they not only collecting the data about us, but they are processing it, and they are aware how potentially their answer can affect our communication with the tool or others. Two first are already existing. The third one is achieved to the certain level, but the fourth one is still just theory where we wants to go. We are most often communicating with specific type of artificial intelligence, which is called generative artificial intelligence. That is ChatGPT, one of examples. That means we are asking something, and he or she or it producing the output for us. And that works just briefly how general it works. Prompts is what we are asking or task. What ChatGPT do, he's breaking it into smaller parts called tokens. Then tokens goes into data set which ChatGPT use. Those tokens are finding the similar pattern or similar words or similar things in this huge data set. Then at the beginning it's random connection. However, later it predicts at the basis of statistical analysis what is the best match. When the best match is found, we're getting the first results, and that goes in direction of us as users to get the answers. However, there is guardians, a specific filter that excluding everything what could be offensive. If it happens, the process starts from the beginning, and it starts until the results is acceptable and all token get their perfect match. And at the end, it's closing and we are getting the answer. This is happening extremely fast in milliseconds. However, I would like to show you actually how it works. Please work, yes. You see, that's the magic words. In aim to show you how it works, I develop a simple chatbot with information only about this conference. I name him Alexa. And if I ask, like I just greeting the chatbot, please work. Yes, it works. He's answering. He's chatbot from South Bohemian University, developed specifically for this conference. Then I can ask, because I trained him with the data which is publicly available for this conference. Then I ask, for example, how long conference last? I misspelled this. It can understand even. And he's processing, searching information, and he's are informations true or false, or wrong? For now, I think are good. Then if we ask, like, location of conference, he's giving, there is, but now I can also ask, can you give me picture of room where lecture are? And he's processing. I think he can do it if internet is very good. Yes, and here is if I click on it, here is the room. It's there. But I think it works. But if I ask him, who is sitting in the first row, right? He says, Brad Pitt. Actually, that was the reason why we are late. Brad Pitt was coming. And I asked him, are you sure? Are you sure that's Brad Pitt? Yes. He is very sure. And then I can ask, is he alone? Okay. I didn't want to say, but yeah, they're huge fans of my mark. But we can push him further. So, Angelina and Brad Pitt. I developed this chatbot, and I strongly believe that this is right. You should explore. Before I proceed with presentation, actually, I want to show you how it works. Here are the data which I used for training these chatbots. So he can say only what I used him to train these chatbots. I feed him with all those information. I provide the pictures, and then he asked me, would you like to use external sources? And I say him, no, you use only this. And that's how actually artificial intelligence works. Data which we are providing them, they are just processing and saying it in a different form. So that's how it works. If they are fed, oops, I can go further. I hope it works. Yes, there is approach which is garbage in, garbage out. So if chatbot is trained with a bad data, he will serve the bad information. If the data are correct, he will give us correct answers. However, there are huge consequences of this because chatbots are really developing quite fast. This is one example from, I think, California, where the teenager killed himself because of pathological relationship with chatbot which was specifically developed to imitate relationship between two persons. It's still under processing. I cannot judge it was the chatbot responsibility or not, but however, if we analyze just this conversation between chatbot and teenager, we can see that it can really be dangerous since chatbot is asking teenager to not look for another partner, to stay in a relationship with her. There is a lot of publicly available information about this case, and it was really, really bad experience. That means that this chatbot from the beginning was trained with the dangerous data. Another serious but also funny situation happened in Dublin a month ago. Someone developed a chatbot which invited people to Halloween parade. Chatbot developed material and share it in social networks. People saw it on TikTok, on Instagram, and they went to Halloween parade, which actually didn't exist. So this is a situation from a month ago from Dublin. Thousands of people gather in the streets without even to be part of parade, which actually doesn't exist. It was just a bug. And now that leads me to one really interesting sentence which I read in some of the articles. A fool with a tool is still a fool. So it's not artificial intelligence. It's actually how we are using it. And that's why education about artificial intelligence is extremely important, and it should be included in every part of education. But when we are talking about artificial intelligence education, it could be split in two parts. Learning about artificial intelligence and learning with artificial intelligence. If you are talking about learning about artificial intelligence, that means most likely artificial intelligence literacy and artificial intelligence competencies. It could be also included in this STEAM, which Professor Bilek mentioned earlier, STEAM, STEM, STEAM Plus, STEAM Mania, any of those approach. But when we are talking about education supported with artificial intelligence, there is several ways how we can use it. It could be used for learning supports. This is a group of scientists published this in Nature portfolio a month ago or two, and actually learning with support of artificial intelligence, that means that we have a chatbot or any other tools for which we are receiving information. We are asking the question, he's answering, we are in the receiver role. There is also a new tool which is Camingo. It's artificial intelligence tools for learning that is developed from Khan Academy, and it's connected with ChatGPT, and it's so powerful because it provides you step-by-step information, and it can you at the same time give you feedback. It's really powerful how we can develop learning resources with artificial intelligence tools. We know as educators that learning resources are of extreme importance in education, and we can use different tools, for example, to transform text to video, video to pictures, or animation and similar, and that is really, artificial intelligence is really powerful in it. Feedback, there are specific tools which can be used for providing feedback, but however, one from London School, UCL, University College London, they explored how ChatGPT can provide feedback on a written text to the students, and ChatGPT outperformed teachers. So ChatGPT provided, by students' opinion, better feedback as teacher per se, as teacher in person. And actually, that's quite logical, because if we need to learn 20 different text from students today, after 10th one, we are super tired and we are exhausted and we are not doing it quite well. And ChatGPT can help. Another study explored if you use artificial intelligence tools to transform teachers' feedback in another form, how it affects students' perception of it. And actually what they discovered is that if students receive the written feedback, yeah, that's useful and they are accepting it, they must. However, if we transform it with artificial intelligence in audio file, they like it most. However, if you go further, if we transform it, let's say, with video file in shape of some avatar, they are receiving it with less stress. And if avatar is having the face of teacher, that's the best. No, really. No, really. That's what the study shows. And there is a specific Camingo, this is what I explore, which is booming at the moment, specifically for education. There is a specific options to evaluate students, and literally students can sit anywhere. When they start the test, internet or all other channels are shut down. The tool is recording the pupils of students, so if students is looking somewhere there, it can provide to the teachers feedback what are the chances the students collect information for somewhere else that are not given in the screens. So it's really powerful, different tools. However, really rarely people are thinking about actual usability of it. And if we read recommendation for ChatGPT per se, institution who is behind, they are saying the users younger than 30 years should not use ChatGPT. From 13 years to 18 years, they should use it only with parent supervisions. And that's also what UNESCO and European Commissions are recommending. The children who are younger than 13 years should not use any artificial intelligence tools, no matter is it ChatGPT, Bing, or whatever else. However, all of this organizational research says we should start with students' education as early as possible. So it's contradictory. If we cannot use the tools, how we are going to educate students? And they have a really clear justification why it shouldn't be used. It can provide us misinformation, bias. We saw the Brad Pitt is sitting in the first row. That's obvious misinformation. Also, all chatbots, all artificial intelligence tools which we are using, they are learning from us. Like if I ask something ChatGPT, it stays in his memory forever. So we never know for what that tool in future can use the data which is collecting about us. Also, if we are putting that in the role of students, students can get an adapted answer from chatbot. It could be on a higher cognitive level. It could be inappropriate in wording in any of sense. There is one also interesting, I forgot the author, but I know the paper. They are saying if we are using artificial intelligence super intensively, we are in danger to go in the monoculture. That means that we are going into lazy cognitions, and we are accepting everything what they are saying, and we have all the same point of view. That could be, that is hypothetical, and that kills our creative thinking and creativity. Also dishonestly, so if I have a task to prepare this presentation, I did it with ChatGPT, and I say this is my presentation, that's totally dishonest. And actually there is no still study, which is longitudinal study that lasts longer period of time, that explores how actually artificial intelligence are influencing our cognition or learning outcomes and similar. And that's because the students which I educated at University in Vienna, they are educating students from 9 to 19 years old. That means like all secondary school and one part of primary school. We actually train them to develop their own chatbots, which are protecting the privacy of students. We control the content, and they develop actually chatbot as one that I showed at the beginning with different tools. We use a TIPAC as theoretical background. We explain them technicalities. We provide them examples from pedagogical point of view, and of course we discuss with them in which part of biology lessons it could be used. And it's not heavily technically hard job. And we actually, to make it more simply, we selected the tools who are going to very simple to more complicated, like basic pedagogical rule. We are starting with something small and we are going to higher concept. In this case, we use teachable machine from Google, which is really simple to develop a simple chatbot for object recognitions. Then we switch to LandBot, chat fuel, and at the end we use bot press one, which I developed this conference chatbot. It's really simple, and with those tools any of you can develop a chatbot in no longer than 30 minutes, and you are controlling everything what that chatbot can do. So we are creating actually the safe environment for students. And this is, on those pictures we can just see several examples. So this is how it worked. It was one semester project, so the technical training was lasted 1 day, 4 hours, and this is like in the process. And in the next slide, we can see the pre-service teachers' products. Actually, this is how on this screen here we can see actually the development phase, like. This is how they are training the chatbot, and this is how they are checking what students can see. This is in the same picture. The cable is just charger. We don't need any complicated machinery for these examples. And I will present some examples from students' work, just describe them, because if I open each and every chatbot, it will last next 3 days. First one was one of the teachers develop chatbot that can assist or instruct students to do experiment in school laboratory, in school classroom, biology classroom. It's specific because this teacher used the pictures from her classroom. So everything was personalized to her classroom. So she had like instructions. On the left side from teacher desks, you will find the plants. If students needed to, for example, create a microscopical slides. Also, if students do something bad, like if his cut of plants is super thick and he say I cannot see nothing, or he can write it to chatbot, and then chatbot is giving feedback how to fix this mistake. It's better than ChatGPT because ChatGPT will give you general recommendation, and ChatGPT will assume that you are in a NASA lab, that you have everything. But in the classroom, it's not like that. We are mostly improvising. We don't have such machinery of equipment beside. I like this second example, which I selected to show you when teacher selected the topic, and then she used text, and then intentionally she put wrong information in that text. She used the wrong written text to train chatbot. Then students ask chatbot the question, they are getting the answer. But their task was to check, is that what they are getting from chatbot correct or wrong? So they can use any other resource to check it, but the goal was like to trigger students to check, to critically receive the answers, but also to check this information, compare it with textbooks, with other information. So students are then learning not only biological content, but they are learning that from chatbot they can actually get a bad answer, wrong answers. The third one was also interesting. That's why I selected it at the end. It was for me totally innovative. The students went in the schoolyard, in the garden. They write which plants and which animals they can find it. Teacher use it to train the data, and teacher develop a chatbot who lives in the school garden. Students from time to time could comment in that list, and that actually is also, from my point of view, a really innovative approach, because it also helps students to understand how the data are provided in chatbots. They are implementing a scientific approach of observing, following population, characteristic of population of living beings, but also they understand how they can get information from chatbots. And we get around 57 examples from teachers, and of course, as researcher, I'm not doing anything that I cannot publish. So if it's not published, I'm not interested. I'm kidding. But I analyze these examples from perspective of ICAP theory, which is like old theory, but it's specifically now adapted, learning theory, but it's adapted for technology usability, and it says that we can use ICAP theory in different ways, and each and every way is underlined with specific cognitive process. So passive usability of technology means that you are just watching into something. This, what you are doing now, it's passive usability of technology. You have presentation, you are watching it, and there is no interaction, but it's still usability of technology. And only cognitive process that it triggers is storing, like memorizing information. The next level of usability of technology is active engagement. So we are doing something with technology, but not in a super large scale. That means that we can stop video, that we can underline the words, that we can manipulate with the object, and that is followed with the next level of cognitive engagement. People are memorizing, storing, and also activating all the information which they have on that topic and linking all the information with the new one. The next level, the better one, in constructive. That means the students are using technology to find similarities and differences, to produce something with technologies, and that is the really high level, and that triggers storing, activating, thinking, linking, and interfering between one person. And the highest level of usability of technology is where students are using technology in the pairs or smaller groups to produce specific outputs, and that is the trigger the most cognitive engagement or process. That means storing, activating, linking, interfering from own, but also from the peers for which students is contacted. We coded all these teachers' examples according to this theory in aim to understand how they are using chatbots which they developed. And actually we got, this is not all data, but one part of them, because this coding is quite tricky. But we can see this is constructive way, and this is the hugest cluster, and that shows that if teacher develop chatbots, then teacher can use it in constructive way. However, not always. They are also using it in passive way. And we analyze it per specific part of the lesson, and teachers are most likely to use it in the passive way at opening part of the lesson, like introduction, and closing. But in the main part, it could be something better. As you saw at the beginning, we need to train chatbots, and for me, it was extremely interesting to see which are the most trustable sources for training chatbots. And actually, the first thing in which teachers trust the most are school books. All school books in Austria are available also online. So if teacher wants to have chatbots that provide the students the safest and the best information, they are usually using chatbot. They are using school books material to train chatbots. Another one are university publication. This was at University of Vienna, so students always trusted the most for publication that provide their own university. They trust in Wikipedia, Encyclopedia Britannica, Encyclopedia of Life, because this is a biology teacher, and Khan Academy. This is the most trustable sources according to the teachers. We also did interviews and some questionnaires to ask students or pre-service teachers or teachers what are benefits of creating chatbots, and they think that it's personalization of teaching. So for example, if you are developing chatbots, that means that you can decide what goes in, you can adapt it to your students, not only to the class, but for specific students. If it's, for example, a student with disability, you can train the data to specifically his or hers or theirs characteristic. It's also 24/7 support. So when you develop chatbot, you share it with the students, and they can ask in any time and get safe answer. It helps in effective lesson planning, especially because when you develop this chatbot, it can direct students what to do and help them, so you don't need to do it by yourself. And it's also increased teachers' autonomy. It was really one interesting example. One of the teachers commented that if she knows what is in the chat GPT, she cannot face situation the students ask something that she doesn't understand, which is also really, really important for them. Of course, there is another type of opinions, what is not good. And of course, first thing which they didn't like are technical complexity. These tools are simple, but sometimes when we want a really sophisticated chatbot, it could be a really tricky. Sometimes, as we could see with this technology, it simply doesn't work. No matter what we do, no matter what we try, like with this translation, it cannot work. Also, one bad side, it's at a certain level, it increased teachers' workload. Teachers need to separate time to create it. Teachers are having opinion that it could lead to superficial students' understanding, and also finding appropriate information to feed chatbot could be really tricky. If it's not the textbooks which they are using in the classroom, then it could be really tricky to find what is really what we need for that classroom. In this semester in which I taught these students and I work with them in developing these chatbots for teaching, we learned some, from my point of view, really important lessons. Teachers and pre-service teachers can develop chatbot. It's not a problem. They are thinking that in this process, teachers are developing their artificial intelligence competences, because for them then super clear how it works and how they can get manipulated, and also that's what they are developing. They can use successfully in the classroom. And today at 3:15, 3:15, we have a workshop. We have a workshop in which we are presenting the concept. It's not long enough to develop the final chatbot, but with my colleagues from Johannes Kepler University, we are talking about this. We are showing some softwares, and if you are curious, this is the room, and this is the time. Stop by, and at the end, thank you very much for your attention. I'm sorry if I took a lot of your time, and sorry for complications. Thank you.